I set up a little pulse class with Erin. She owns the studio, and she taught us Saints ladies. And there was like 10 of us that came, and there was like some rookies, some new girls, some girls that have been here a few years, and that was really nice. And that's my goal, right? Because like I don't want to be. I know it was a select few, but I know the people who weren't always the nicest when you weren't the best.
They want to make it seem like the woman doesn't have purpose, or the woman needs to do something aside from whatever her man has going on. And I think that's more so for the relationships, not more so for the marriages, like the people who are boyfriend and girlfriend.
He
because
always says that. Relationship. We're in a relationship. You see dating relationships?
I mean dating relationship.
Dating versus marriage, because we're all in relationships,
all right.
you know?
The dating courtship, all right? Can I say courtship?
Sure. All or right. Dating.
People who are dating.
Yeah, sometimes guys are like, you should get a job. Literally, why?
Well, yeah, I get that. I think...
If we're not married, though...
Hold on.
I'm getting a job.
I was able to talk.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me talk now. let me talk now.
But, like, if I'm investing in you and I know that your man is out here being... you know what? I fear I'm going to have to let you know. I do. I'm going to have to let you know. And in fact, I have.
You're a snitch?
I'm a snitch, but
you're a snitch?
Yes.
Take us high as too much weight. I still try and fly away. Carry my cross just like I'm A. I still advise them not to play.
Hey, Shane, you see me?
There you are.
All right. You know we rolling, right?
Let's roll it.
Let's roll it. Hey, Shane. Why do you look good? Why do you look good this time and I don't?
I don't. Look at my shoes.
Why are you flexing?
Free feet pics.
For the people that are listening on our podcast app, she is wearing Christian Dior's.
Yeah, but they're with like some like dark wash jeans that are just not meant to be worn with slides. And I was going to wear heels, but I just got really lazy and I'm glad I didn't because I walked like a mile from my car here today. The parking was tragic. And I have like a very casual dinner to go with my friends too after this, so I didn't want to wear high heels.
Yeah, I'm just going to wear Christian Dior's because, you know, that's just my chill outfit. But anyway,
I got ready in 15 minutes, so thanks.
You look amazing. I will say that.
Thank
you
you.
Look beautiful.
You look awesome.
I look pretty regular with some Saints team issue sweatpants. But anyway, welcome back to Love and Locker Rooms. You're here with Jawan and Shannon Johnson. And so you can follow us on YouTube and many other platforms like the podcast app, Spotify, and all the different things.
Apple Music.
Apple, yeah, all those things. So really excited that you guys have us today. We'll have a good episode talking about just friendships.
Today we're talking about friendships in the NFL, and we're talking about bad money decisions, I guess. Like through
the relationships and just the decisions that we made.
Just bad decisions in the NFL that we, you know what, all the rookies are coming in. Rookie minicamp just finished. Let's give some tips, you know?
But
anyway, friendships in the NFL. How do you feel like friendships now are in comparison to when you were a rookie?
That's a good question.
I know.
I think in the beginning, I don't think that they were my relationships were never shallow, but I feel like the relationships didn't grow as deep as I think they should have, just because it's COVID. And I think the older guys think that, you know, some guys who are maybe younger and who are undrafted like myself, they don't know if they're gonna make the team or, you know. And me just being young, like, I'm just like, there's so much being thrown at me. Like, I can't even necessarily be myself. I'm trying to learn the playbook. We came in July. Like, all these rookies now, they'll come in June or April, May, rather.
They get to know each
other, even though they're fellow rookies and, like, kind of go through that process. But for me, I came in July, and I was, like, just thrown into it. And so it was just, for me, I wasn't really, like, making a lot of friendships besides the rookies. And it was a little tough for me.
I think that that's extremely typical. I feel like most rookies are, like, immediate friends. Like, I remember our rookie year, like, I was literally only friends with rookies. I mean, actually, my first ever friend, Erica Carr, she literally took me out to coffee, and she was, like, not a rookie.
Yeah.
But I feel like, in general, like, you kind of cling to each other as rookies.
Yeah.
I know that like on a lot of other teams, I will say not the Saints, which is great, but a lot of other teams, I feel like friendships are weird when it comes to if you're new, if you're a rookie, or if you're not married.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like those are like situations where it could be like dicey. I feel like all in all, the Saints have been like really good about that. Like they were very welcoming.
I can
The
agree with you
girls
on
were
that.
like very kind.
I can agree with you on that. I do feel like, especially, I was with like an older Saints group. Like we had some old players, but they were really like good about just welcoming rookies in. Now I have heard about other places where it's not that way.
I feel like the teams, well, I don't think I want to say what teams, but
No,
I
we
think
won't say
there's
the
some
team.
teams that are like known to have more like not so nice girlies who maybe are like, you know, pick their little clickety clicks or whatevs.
Mhm.
I don't feel like the Saints have been that. And literally the other day I was told that I'm like a vet now, which I guess I am. And I'm like, whoa, that's so crazy because
Shane, you the old head
I'm
now.
going to do my best to make sure that these new girls feel welcomed and loved because
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know.
I wish
mean,
you had that. Not
I
saying
wish
that
I
you
had it more.
had it more, because you definitely had it. I wish you had that more, because I feel like when you're a rookie, you're just like, well, we don't know if they're gonna be here that long.
I will say,
You know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
going to say who it was because that person's not even here anymore, so it doesn't matter. My rookie year, I was with a group of like rookie girlies, and like we were the losers, like me specifically, because I mean, you were undrafted,
Mm-hmm.
and like if anyone thought that someone wasn't going to be here after camp, it was you and me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hey everyone, and you know, I would be the one that people would probably think wouldn't be around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so there was an instance where I was with like a couple rookies, and this person came up to us who was a significant other, and she was like, yeah, I really just don't like feel like investing in like y'all, to be honest. I'm over it. I'm tired of investing in people, and truth be told, I don't really know if any of you are going to be here once camp's over, so I don't really care to become your friend.
How'd you feel about that? I mean, that is crazy, but how did you feel about that?
Incredibly weird. I would say that's the only time that I've ever had an instance like that.
Yeah.
Never happened again. And like I said, those people aren't even here anymore. So
How do you feel about that in terms of me though? Because the thing is, like, somebody can say that to you,
well, it's
but then
kind
you
of a
can make
hate.
it feel like it's like, did you feel a certain way towards
I think there's
me
like,
on the situation
yeah.
that we're in because of what somebody said to you who was,
I think there's a weird like dynamic in the NFL because like again, the Saints really aren't that way. So like it's always been great because like everyone just hangs out with everyone. I feel like we're in the South. We're literally just like in New Orleans living life. Like this is a very like chill town.
It's a chill town.
The people here are very chill.
Yeah.
Even the guys on the team and the girls on the team.
Yeah.
But I feel like in general in the NFL, it can be really easy to feel like, well, my man maybe isn't doing great.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not a starter, people maybe
Right.
won't care. Literally, I feel like the game, I feel like it's a lot more real.
By
than
the
people
way,
think.
she watches the game.
I'm watching the game right now.
She watches the game so much. Like,
the food is here.
yeah.
Hi.
How are we?
Thank you. Sorry,
Perfect.
you can just literally put it right here.
Oh, thanks, brother.
You are the best.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. To be honest, I feel like the game can be a little bit more realistic than people want to believe. But like, yeah, I think, you know, like when you were like on the practice squad, was treatment a little different? For sure.
1,000%.
For sure.
And that wasn't, and the thing is like the treatment of a practice squad guy or a rookie, it's not even like intentional. It's just more so like the energy and the investment of doing something.
It's the investment, and like truth be
it's a
told,
lot.
like I mean I get it, you know, like when you were on the practice squad and it was your rookie year, like this is such a filtering through job. Yeah. Like I get it that maybe someone doesn't want to try and invest in friendship with me because truth be told, I could have been off on the streets the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could have gotten
mm-hmm.
kicked off the team, jobless, and both would have been unemployed.
And it's not like you're trying to be shallow at all. It's like honestly, because I know like for me, just like investing in like even teammates. Like I remember coming in with one of my best friends going with the Saints and coming in with him, and he wasn't there that long. Kind of like, dang, like you're investing, you're being with this guy, you're hanging with these people, and then they end up like actually cutting these people and letting them go.
Yeah,
and this
I
is
think
like
too,
during
like rookie
season.
year, like a lot of the people that came in rookie year stayed for like 3-4 years. It wasn't until the
Yeah,
past couple years that like there were
agree.
a lot of changes on the team. So
Yeah,
like there was like a good dynamic group of people who were like literally here for a good chunk of time.
yeah. You know, you're right.
But
You're right about
so
that.
when it comes to friendships, we were able to like build relationships that like we kind of like grew over the few years.
Right.
But I feel like in the NFL in general, some people maybe wouldn't want to be friends if you weren't like a starter.
Yeah. So let's just break this down a little bit. So we're talking about friends and like how it could change in the dynamic. I'm going to break down like the times where people are getting cut more so and where like the things would change. And so so the first cuts are really between phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1 and phase 2, between that time is when guys, well, the rookies, the so-called rookies, are being drafted. So they're being drafted, so they have to let some guys go to make space for them. So that's where sometimes like you'll see some guys, you know, get cut. And it's just like, dang, like I didn't even really get cut, because the thing is like he didn't do any football stuff. Like he wasn't able to show his stuff, especially if a new coach came in. So it's like, well, the coach doesn't really know me, so how could he like keep me? So you'll have that, and then you'll have 3 stages during training camp, where you'll have like the first week of cuts, the second week of cuts, and then the final cuts. You know what I'm saying?
I think they get it too. I remember in 2021, we were, Hurricane Ida had came, and I think we've talked about this before, but Hurricane Ida was here, so we were evacuated in Dallas, and that was the first time that we like watched people get cut, because you would literally just see guys, like a cut day was so awkward because literally everyone just like hibernated in their bedrooms for the day because they were just waiting on this call, like hoping that they weren't going to get it,
right,
including us. And so then I remember like we were all peering out the windows and like peeking because like we would see guys with their little roller suitcases heading to the airport. I'm like, dang, he's not on the team anymore. Like, let me text his wife.
Right.
Or like whatever. And like that was like sad. But I think too, like one of the things in the NFL is like for me and the girls at least, like I have most of my friendships are long distance. Of course I have my core group of friends here, like the girls, but in general, like a lot of my friendships are long distance because someone will genuinely be on this team and then the next day not. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not going to cut them off. They're still my friend. Yeah. So a lot of my friends are long distance.
I would say just for my friendships, previously, I felt like for me personally, I've had, and I love my girls. I love Juby. I love Dory. But I think we had our most intentional relationships when we didn't have kids.
It was easier to invest in friendships. It was
easier to invest in kids, and it was easier to go out, hang out with them. Like I remember like 2021, 2022 were like the years where I like really had some friends that we could just do like whatever. Because the thing is like you go do your thing with your girls, I did my thing with my guys, and like we were just able to connect and like invest in people.
Now that I'm a vet, right? I'm a vet.
You're old head.
I guess I had set up this thing, and I go to Romney Studios. I'm a member there, and I do like little classes there, Pilates. I set up a little pulse class with Erin. She owns the studio, and she taught us Saints ladies. And there was like 10 of us that came, and there was like some rookies, some new girls, some girls that have been here a few years, and that was really nice. And that's my goal, right? Because like I don't want to be. I know it was a select few, but I know the people who weren't always the nicest when you weren't the best.
Okay. Okay.
And like I said, probably not here anymore. But like we don't need no switch ups. Yeah. For me, like I want to be that nice person to someone who maybe does get cut tomorrow. Do I care? No. You're still a human being. Right. You know. Right. So.
Do you like your role now that you're a vet compared to how it was before? Do you feel like you were relying on people before to do stuff that you weren't necessarily comfortable with, or?
I feel like I like it, but I think that I'm not in a place right now where I'm like as capable as I wish that I was. Having 2 under 2. Okay. And having a full-time job, whether people want to believe it or not. And I just like I don't really have the time to like, you know, do as much as I would if that wasn't the case.
You can definitely connect because like sometimes I feel like kids go to the same school
Yeah,
or
that part too. Like
stuff
now
like
that we
that.
have kids, like a lot of us have grown up together. So like our kids are like we have kids now. So like
Right.
we get to hang out with our children or like we get to take our kids to school together and like
Yeah.
that's really nice. I feel like it's hard and I've talked to other girls in the NFL about this before. Like if you're not ready yet for kids or marriage or something, but all your friends are married or all your friends have kids, it can be like a weird like like I feel like I'm behind, but like you're just simply not there yet and you don't want to be and that's fine.
Right.
But like I don't know because we came into the NFL married, but I will say like again, the Saints weren't that way, but I know that in the NFL in general, there's a stigma where, like, if you're not a wife, like, you could literally peace out. Your rookie year, like, I feel like over some time, though, like, some stuff had changed. Because, like, your rookie year, there were some boys on this team who were just simply boys. And, like...
I got some more questions, too.
I feel like that year, I was just watching girls filter through, and I was like, is that what the NFL is like? But ever since, like...
But that's what I more so wanted to ask. Like, so... Like I said, for me, like, you either see guys cut and their family, like, goes, or you do have a guy and he has a girlfriend, but then you see another girl another week, and then a couple weeks after that, you see another girl. So, like, I'm talking about the investment there because a guy, for me, like, the guy's going to be there, but he has a girlfriend.
That's such a dicey situation for the wives, I will say, because I feel like you want to invest. I want to invest, right? But like, if I'm investing in you and I know that your man is out here being a you know what, I fear I'm gonna have to let you know. I do. I'm gonna have to let you know, and in fact, I have.
You're a snitch.
I'm a snitch, but
you're a snitch.
Yes, I am. I am a snitch because sorry.
You're a girl's girl, huh?
I'm a girl's girl, but I will say, like, if it's, like, bad, if it's, like, a real deal thing, and it would get you in any of a situation, like, this sounds bad, but he's gonna be first. Like, if it's gonna, like, mess up, because at the end of the day, these are coworkers. And I think a lot of people think that it's just, like, entertainment, and it's funny, and it's tee-hee. Like, at the end of the day, they're coworkers. Yeah. You know? And, like, if it's ever gonna mess you up in any way, or your job, or anything, like, I would never, like, go past a boundary. Yeah. But that's never happened before. I've always been close enough. But if it's someone, truth be told, I'll be honest, if it's someone that I like don't really know like that, I wouldn't say anything. And that's happened before. And do I hate myself for that? I don't know. It's not my place if I don't know you like that. Yeah. Or is it? Because your man is wild.
Yeah, I just feel like it's tough for you guys because you guys aren't in the profession. You guys are helping aid us to do our profession. So when you do have a girlfriend that you just met, you know, you're getting to know her and stuff like that, and then these people break up, then it's just like, dang, like, I can't even talk to you. Not saying you can't talk to her no more, but you don't get to see her as much just because, like, y'all done broke up. And so now it's another girl that's in the mix a couple weeks later. It's just like, dang, do I invest in her too? Because, like, I made
that mistake with one man. I won't say who it was, but there was one man who had like a new girlfriend every day. And I'm just out here like, I accidentally said the wrong name before. Genuinely. I wasn't trying to be that person. And it's just like, something must happen here.
I feel like it's bad. I do feel like.
So like those types of friendships are hard to maintain because truth be told, you could be out here leaving moments later. Yeah. But in general, like, again, the Saints are, like, one of the most wholesome teams. This is, like, known throughout the league. But, like, most girls are married or in super committed relationships. Well, like, you know, the cities that you would imagine people would be different, they're probably different.
I agree. I just, yeah. Sometimes I just feel like it's, for us, it has to be a couple things. And it's not that we, like, trying to wipe out the other people. But if we're doing something together or you trying to hang out, if you're trying to hang out with me most of the time, like, it's going to have to be a double date because I don't want, you know, my lady to just not be, you know, out the house. I want you to be out the house where you can have some fun. And two, like, you got to have some kids. Like, if you have some kids, that'll be great so we can do, like, double dates with the kids or like, we can do, like, play dates and stuff like that. It just helps.
That might be why I don't see a lot of drama either is because, like, you don't really hang out with drama. Like, if there is drama, like, that's not really the type of people that you be hanging out with anyway. Yeah. So, like... And you've always been like the wholesome guy on the team that, truth be told, people don't necessarily want to tell everything to.
I wouldn't say that I was. Yes, I am. I mean, I'm not trying to boast or anything, but I wasn't always with the most
Like
I would say the most meek or the most loyal guys. I would say I just had a relationship with them because we had, it was just, they were just fun guys to be around. Like, it was funny, it was cool. But the thing is,
my thing is this, like, I think that you are who you hang out with.
Yeah.
So, like, I would have a problem if you were hanging out with people who were, like, bad, unfaithful.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Why are you hanging out with those kinds of people?
I wouldn't say that the relationship was based on, like, women. It was just more so based on, like...
But that's a thing, and that's a good point to make for the NFL. Like, I think, like, there obviously are people who have a lot of pride and, like, do things they shouldn't be doing. And as a girlfriend or a wife, we don't want to see our men hang out with those types of people. Because you really, truly are who you hang out with. Or why are you entertained by that kind of stuff? Why are you not icked out?
I get it.
You know?
Jesus hanged out with tax collectors, so I would say...
There's a difference between hanging out with somebody and indulging. Or giving allowance for things. I would never give allowance for things.
But I think for me, it was like... I'm always a jokey type of friend to hang out with. So I'm like... Oh, like... Are you with that girl? Like, oh, like when I'm getting an invite to the wedding. Like, I'm always like, when I'm getting an invite to the wedding.
Like, what's taking you so long?
Like, dang.
How old are you? Why are we dating for this long?
Uh-oh, here she goes. She about to get spiked up now. She about to get spiked up. See,
sorry,
I was trying to avoid it.
How many years?
I was trying to avoid it.
More than 10?
But yeah.
Oh, I would have been out of here. 10? Children? I'm gone.
You gone?
Gone.
But yeah, I think it's more so that, like, I think it's like the friends, like they find like some women who are just like, aren't necessarily taken so serious that we honestly, we don't hang out with because we kind of know the situation of what it is. And sometimes I feel like some people may take you or me as like, well, dang, like they're kind of standoffish or they kind of act a certain way. But it's not that. Yeah, well, we had a situation where someone thought you were a certain way, but you weren't. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, that's not the way we are. It's just like...
I'm not.
You're not.
It was somebody that I had never met before. And I heard through the grapevine that I didn't hang out with people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe it's because I just had a kid.
Yeah, but you just had...
2 weeks ago.
You just had a kid.
I just had a kid 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I couldn't make the game. Is that okay with you?
Right. No, I just think it's, sometimes I think, the friendship part is a little hard for us. But I also think it's good too, because we do find some great relationships and some lifelong relationships that we still have to today who
That's
aren't
the
on the
thing
team.
too, is like, truth be told, at the end of the day, nobody, like, I can have lots of friends outside the NFL and they're awesome and they're perfect and I love them and they're great friendships and they're a breath of fresh air. But does any of them understand my life at all? Absolutely not. No. And will any of them? Literally never. Like, only the people that are, like, in this world understand me. Yeah. Like, when we say, okay, one of the main things, and I feel like there's a lot of discussion around in the NFL, is, like, girls not working, right?
That's good.
And I just had this talk with some girls, like, on a really deep level recently. Literally, why would you work? Literally stop in your tracks. Why would you go get a job? Why would you go get a job? Because guess what?
Good. Explain to people why you shouldn't have a job.
Explain. Like, to be completely honest,
I think you should have a job.
If you listen, I'm not getting one. Sorry, you want to know why? Meanwhile, I have a whole job. But like, my job is very different, and I love it, and it's like very, very fun and cool and peace, love, gymnastics. So like, I would never not do this, but you understand. Anyway, people who are like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to get a job. I need to have an identity of my own. Blah blah blah. Literally, you don't. You want to know why? Because it's going to be a waste of time. Unless it's something you're super passionate about, but like, never go get a job just because you feel like society or their mommy is going to hate you because you literally didn't. Like, if your mom was going to hate me because I didn't get a job, I wouldn't go get a job. Why would I do that?
I will say that
I'm not finished. Go ahead. The reason you shouldn't get a job in the NFL is this. His game check for one singular game is going to be your entire year's salary. Why would you waste your time? Why would you literally waste your time on your hands and knees at a job literally every single day for one game check? Do you know what I'm saying? One Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. And dare I have a kid? Child support. It's going to cost me more money to hire someone to watch my kids than me staying at home if I went and got a job.
That's fair.
Literally, let me just stay home, take care of my kids. It's going to be okay. Society might judge me for a sec, but is that okay? I think so. Because guess what? It's a game check.
Fair. I would say for some people, they get pressured into it. Yeah. They want to make it seem like the woman doesn't have purpose, or the woman needs to do something aside from whatever her man has going on. And I think that's more so for the relationships, not more so for the marriages, like the people who are boyfriend and girlfriend. Because
he always says that. Relationship. We're in a relationship. You seem dating relationships?
I mean dating relationships.
Dating versus marriage, because we're all in relationships,
all right.
you know?
The dating courtship, all right? Can I say courtship?
Sure. All or right. Dating.
People who are dating.
Yeah, sometimes guys are like, you should get a job. Literally, why?
Well, yeah, I get that. I think...
If we're not married, though...
Hold on.
I'm getting a job.
I was able to talk.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let me talk now. let me talk now. So I think, like, for dating, I think people are just like, well, you know, you should have something for yourself and not rely on...
Just in case.
Yes, and there's some creed to that. But
100%.
1,000%.
But I don't think there should be a just in case if you're married. Only if you're dating.
But I also should say this, and we've had an episode about this before. You probably shouldn't be living with the person if you are dating.
Oh, duh.
But if you are, which people do, and that's fine. Well, you know, whatever you do, what you want to do. I think when you're dating and like someone isn't working and your man is working, making all this money. When you're
dating and if you don't have a job, I think that's weird.
Because look.
Not weird, but I think that's tough. Like if you're dating, like if me and you were dating and we moved here.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a job, I'd be worried for myself.
Right.
I have seen it get ugly, and I have seen it become. I have nowhere to live now. I have no money now. Like,
yeah.
And that is
you're
a
not gonna have anywhere to live, but you don't have any money. That's more.
If you break up, my guy. Well, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you got to move back home with mom.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
Because he said he's got you covered.
This is sounding a lot like the game.
The NFL is the game. People want to see
it is more the game. The game. All right. The game on Netflix is really similar to how the league is. I wouldn't say it's spot on,
but not like the toxicity.
It's really cheesy. It's really cheesy.
It's so cheesy.
But
like the way the guys have this part, and they're like, I'm on the Sabres. Like, let's not act like some guys don't go to the restaurants and be like,
you definitely make me pull that card.
All the time.
You did make me pull that card.
We're
trying to get to this restaurant.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. Like, we use our resources, like, you know, but I'm saying, like, guys who are like, hey there, baby. You want to date me? I'm on the Sabres. Come on, you know that's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. Or they think that they're like, let's not act like you're not a 3.
Shannon,
you're a 3.
Stop with how people
but
look.
you know that you're getting this girl.
Stop.
What?
Stop talking about how people look. We're not doing that.
No, but like.
We get it. It's not. Sometimes it's not about how you look. It's about how you treat somebody.
It's about the pockets.
It's about how much you smell. Maybe it's about how much is in your pockets. Maybe that's it.
That's what I'm saying. But then it's those same guys that look crazy with the pride that are like, I'm on the Sabres. And then they, you know, probably make a good amount of money.
Okay. Well, let's get back on topic for a second.
Sure. Speaking of money.
Yeah.
What is the stupidest expense? First, number 1, what's the stupidest expense you've ever done? And number 2, what's the biggest, because people think that y'all be spending tons of money. What's the most money we've spent in one sitting?
Okay. I mean, I'm different. Like you're going to get a different answer from
everyone
me than
thinks
somebody
that people
else.
Be spending money.
But I think for us, like we said in the beginning about just, you know, rookie stuff, I think for us, probably the stupidest decision we made was probably getting an apartment before we got here.
Undrafted, free agent.
Rookie,
didn't know what we were doing. 2020 buys an entire apartment for a year lease.
You don't like buy an entire apartment.
Gets a lease for an entire apartment for a whole year.
Thank you.
Buys all the furniture.
Honestly, it was pretty expensive too. Like we got. It was a $3,000
rent. Let's be honest. Every 2 weeks he made $5,000.
I did not make $5,000.
Every
2 weeks I made around
10.
Around 10.
Okay.
$9,000.
So he made.
It was pretty good money.
Okay.
But
we were living above our means with a $3,000 rent.
living
You were
way
making
above our means. Yeah.
$5,000 every week.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
No, you weren't.
I was. I really was.
It was every check. No. I just saw one the other day at the shredder. You're right, it was 10.
All right, so
we have organizers at the house, and I've seen a lot of things.
So I made $10,000.
So $20,000 a month.
Dang, girl.
Essentially $120,000 a year.
Gee, I'm talking.
That's average salary. Why are we? That is like a U.S. good job, but it's not a great job. It's a U.S. good job.
That's a good job.
Good job.
I don't know what you're doing with that hand.
But like, should you be spending $3,000 on rent, especially if it's not guaranteed?
I would say you shouldn't be spending $3,000 on rent, unsure about your future.
Right.
Because I feel like
those NFL contracts are fake.
Because I would say that's just like if someone were to pay for like a mortgage, and you had $3,000, you were getting $10,000 a month. Like that isn't like $10,000 every 2 weeks. That's really good. But for your future to be uncertain, because the thing is like, say if like a doctor was making like $10,000 every 2 weeks for the rest of his life, like that is really good money. But the thing is like he's sure of his future. But for us, we're very unsure because we can get cut within like whatever, especially on a practice squad. You can get cut or let go.
So none of your money is guaranteed. So that was a weird decision for us to make. But halfway through that year, he got put on the team, so like we were able to make that up. Thank goodness.
Yeah, but yeah, $3,000 for that was very responsible. It was very responsible.
Do you think that was the stupidest decision we've made?
I have another one. I have another one that isn't too irresponsible, but I know at the time I was like, we probably shouldn't have did that. What? So when we were in LA, and this was after our rookie year, and we were on Rodeo Drive.
We bought some stuff.
Listen. We went to Rodeo Drive. Yeah. And went to Balenciaga. Yeah. And I got a pair of shoes, and then you got a pair of shoes. And we're like, and you were like, are you okay? Like, are we gonna go broke? I said, no, like we're good.
Guys, he has an awesome contract. And literally today, I asked you if we're gonna go broke because I was worried about my car windshield.
You do too much. You always.
My AC is broken, and I'm really scared it's gonna cost us a lot of money.
You are just fine.
This is the way that you know that more money, more problems, because you're gonna still worry about money no matter how much money you have.
You just don't want to lose it, and
I'm always scared. That's not biblical though. I need to be better about that. That's giving that parable. And the thing is like
us as Christians, we're not perfect. Like we're not great at everything, and that's okay.
No, but that Rodeo Drive experience, I will say, like sometimes I'll see people who don't make nearly as much money as you're making decisions to go to Rodeo Drive and buy so much more than that, and I'm like, or like these houses that people buy, and I'm like,
these houses that people buy are pretty ridiculous. I will say that
the house that we bought was pretty darn cheap. Let's be for real. I'm not going to talk about how much it was because I don't want people to find it. But it was cheap. And I'm seeing people spending a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean,
if you can't pay in cash, why are you buying that? If you can't pay it twice in cash.
Are you the new financial advisor now? Financial advisor Shannon?
Well, I'm just saying for us to think that at Balenciaga we couldn't buy some shoes. That's crazy.
Yeah, we were at Balenciaga and I got some black shoes that I really wanted. I got some black Balenciaga that had Balenciaga all over it. And you got the same ones in white and pink. And you wore those all the time.
I did, but then Balenciaga got canceled for a sec.
They did. And I was like,
are they canceled still? I honestly haven't worn them since because I've been like rebuking Balenciaga.
But I was like, yeah, like it's not bad. And then like a couple months later, I was like, dang, I really wish.
Well, I remember after your rookie year,
funded that.
I remember we moved back to New Orleans in like April, and you didn't start getting paid again until September. And I remember we had $10,000 in our bank account. That was after his rookie year. People think that practice squad money is like crazy money. It's not. I don't know who told you that, but it's not. It's not. It's not going to sustain you. Practice squad money. We had $10,000 in a bank account.
Here's the thing.
Our rent was $3,000 a month, and that's all we had until September.
Well, here's the thing also that you're not realizing. That my rookie year, we didn't get paid through 34 weeks. We got paid for 16 weeks. And then that was it. So the last time I got paid was in January. And I didn't get paid all the way up until next September. So I was...
How long is this?
We're at 33 minutes because we have to cut some stuff out.
Yeah, we got to cut some stuff out.
5 minutes max.
Si, senor. Da. Yeah. So like from that, I was like, dang, like I didn't get paid for like four months.
A lot of guys, their pride doesn't like that you get paid over the course of 32 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
Me, on the other hand, loves that.
So
basically, Jawan, like, say his game check is like $50,000. We would get 25 for 32 weeks instead of 50 for 17 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm team 25 for 32 because between the months of January and July, it'd be cool to feel like I'm making some money.
Yeah.
But if they did the whole 50 thing, it would be...
I get
you'd stop getting paid in January. And, like, I mean, I'm sure people love to look at that check and be like, look how much money I made.
Right.
I don't care.
I get that.
Let's make sure that we're okay.
I get it from some people's point of view because I did have a teammate who was investing the money he was making within the 16, 17 weeks. And the thing is, he was able to invest that money. Let's listen. He was able to invest it. So he was able to, like, so say if you wanted to get like a home or a crib, like you could invest that money that you just got from your paycheck. Instead of doing half of it, you don't have as much, I guess, in a way, capital to, do that. You got to wait till all your money gets in, which is in May, to then make some of those moves. I get it. But you know what I mean.
I think that's probably the most money we've spent. Well, I think our house in the East Coast, because I'm saying at one time, because we paid for that house in full.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think that was probably the most money we spent in one time. I'm not saying how much it is because I don't want people to find it. But besides that, because that was kind of a smart decision, the next biggest purchase we made was like a couple $100,000 in investing for something else.
I mean,
again, nothing stupid. I don't think we make like
not spending though. That's investing.
We invested in something.
So we didn't. So I mean, like spending, as in like we're not getting anything in return.
Spending. Well, I'm just saying, like, the most money we spent, could it have been stupid? I mean, probably. I mean, investing is investing at the end of the day. It could have been stupid.
I feel like a watch you gave me was probably the most you probably spent. But again, that can be an investment.
Yeah, he's funny, and it's funny. The world is funny because the world thinks that we spend all of our money on me. Not true. I spend more money on his watches than anything else in the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
as I'm wearing a Whoop watch right now.
Like,
as I'm wearing a Whoop
well,
watch.
I guess my ring is nice, but like,
yeah,
your watches.
Yeah.
You know.
I appreciate you for that. Father's Day is coming up next week.
Well, guess what? I got you something nice. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Well, y'all.
Well, y'all, Shannon's gonna close us out in prayer.
I have a dinner to get to.
Thank you so much. So you want to close us out?
Me close us out?
Yeah, you close out.
Okay. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. We thank you for some time to get together and just honor you. And we just bless your name, Lord. We just ask that you have provision over our podcast and that you just allow us to be a light for you. We just thank you, Lord, for these opportunities. And we just ask that people see us in the way that you intend for us to be seen, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, so thank you guys for hollering back at us for Love in Locker Rooms. We'll see y'all next week for some more juicy topics. All right now. Peace out.